So here we have the A95X Max. Now this particular version of it is produced by a company called WeChip. We've looked at different WeChip boxes in the past. They're alright, you know, it's a bit like the rest of them really, but they do provide OTA updates here and there, and the quality seems alright from what we've seen over the past couple of years. So yeah, this is the A95X Max by WeChip, and it features the S905X2. So we are featuring in this box 4 GB of RAM, so plenty of RAM for a TV box. We've got 64 GB of internal storage, so plenty of storage really, and we've got dual band Wi-Fi as well. Now the most interesting thing about this TV box is that it's got a really handy bay on the top to store a SATA hard drive or SSD. Now, the thing is with the S905X2, I don't believe it has a SATA interface. So this will be, I suspect, a SATA to USB connection. And that's fine, that's absolutely fine. But it will reduce the speed of which the hard drive can communicate with the device. It'll still be able to do everything, play films and etc., but transfer speeds will be reduced significantly, I would suspect. But we will test that later on. I'll connect up a SSD drive to it and we'll see the transfer speeds. Now, as well as that, this device is featuring 3 USB 3.0 ports on the side, as well as a TF card slot. We have a SPDIF connection or SPDIF connection, optical port, so a proper optical port there. So if you want to connect it to, say, a soundbar and stuff like that, most soundbars nowadays have that sort of connection. Or, you know, you could do the HDMI pass-through. Of course, it's got a HDMI 2.0 port just there. It's got a gigabit, I believe, Ethernet port. We've got AV port, as well as that, we've got a USB 2.0 port. And we've got our power input as well. We've also got a lock button here. So if you want to connect it to a, those sort of laptop locks that you can get, it'll connect to one of them. Not entirely sure why you'd want that. But anyway, the rest of the device itself, we've got an LCD display on the front, will show display time, Wi-Fi and so on. And the actual construction of it feels very, very cheap. It really does. The plastic, it's not the best feel ever. So there's certainly, cheapened out on that product as far as the case is concerned. So it's a bit of a shame. As well as that, we've got this weird sort of film coating on the plastic just here. Not entirely sure what that is, but in my experience, this type of film coating isn't very good. It flakes off, especially when it gets hot, and you used to see it on really old toys from the 90s, I think it was. But yeah, not a great look, I don't think. But anyway, apart from that, it seems an alright product, seems solid enough, but we'll get into it. We'll see how the firmware performs, because that's the most important. So this is the A95X launcher, and it's just a very basic launcher, very easy to use. Now if we go through it, we can see just, we've just got a very basic set of apps on the front menu just here, and we've got YouTube, Netflix. Now this Netflix app is just a basic 480p web app, but I don't see any issues with using that sort of Netflix. But no, don't expect 1080p 4K Netflix from this. If we want to add more apps to our main menu, we can just choose from, say, I'll put Grand Theft Auto just on the front there, and there we go, we've got Grand Theft Auto on the front. And if we go to this menu just here, we've got all the rest of our apps just here. So yeah, just a very basic sort of thing, and quite honestly, it's very fluid and it works really nice. There's no glitchiness, it's not slow or anything like a lot of TV boxes. So just to confirm, this is running Android 8.1, and this is the A95X Max. So far so good. It also comes with wireless updates. I've not received any just yet, but I suspect this is connected to something. This is because it's built by WeChip, so I should expect at least the odd update here and there, but don't expect too much from that. So yeah, so there we go. Let's move on now. Let's show you the performance of this box. I'm really quite impressed with it from what I've seen so far, so I think you're going to enjoy it. Woo! So the A95X Max, in conclusion, is a really good box. It's got its issues, plenty of firmware issues here and there, some incompatibilities with my air mouse and so on, you know, nothing too bad. But apart from that, yeah, really stable firmware, ability to play pretty much every game I threw at it. As well as that, we've got that SATA bay as well, really nice feature to have. Loads of connections as well, loads of USB ports and so on. The only downside I would say is that, you know, this is just another TV box at the end of the day, produced by another, you know, Chinese company that probably aren't going to support it all that well. I suspect a few updates will come through here and there, but, you know, who knows? And we'll probably, again, be relying on the community to support it going further into the future. I know things like Corelec aren't quite available for it just yet. They don't have the hardware to test it and so on, so we're not going to see stuff like that just yet. As well as that, the build quality of this, although there's loads of space inside of it, loads of cooling for it, it's very cheap. The outer casing's really cheaply made. It feels really crap. But apart from that, I think the hardware, as far as hardware is concerned, that's where all the money's gone. But it's just a shame the actual plastic casing, it's a bit rubbish. But there we go. Firmware spot on. Can't fault that. But yeah, so far so good. I'm really quite impressed by this box. And if you guys have maybe a hard drive at home and it's full of movies, a 2.5-inch hard drive that is, it's full of movies and you're into Kodi and all that sort of stuff, you're not too fussed about Netflix. Netflix will play on this, but you know, you're not going to get the most out of Netflix on this. Then this might be for you if you're after an upgrade. As well as that, gaming, spot on. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Really impressed by this box, and we shall see you very soon.